Welcome into First Pitch for Friday, June 23rd. I am Drew Martin, joined by Don Buster, Steve Merrill, and Jeff Michaels of WagerTalk.com. We got a big weekend here, guys. We got the Cubs and the Cardinals playing in London. We got some big series here on the Diamond. We got big game breakdown and best bets coming your way from three of the best sports betting minds in the business. We got our leadoff hitter here, Don Buster. I'm seeing big game breakdown here, Don. Pittsburgh Pirates and the Miami Marlins. Marlins laying $2 here, 7.5 the total. What are you thinking in the fish tank in South Florida tonight, Don?
Yes, Drew. We're going to your favorite ball club there in Miami. And again, as always, Drew, always a pleasure to be on with all you guys on the First Pitch on Friday. Our play is going to be on the over 7.5. Now, this play is going to be part statistical, but it's also what I'd like to do most is be the contrarian bettor. This line opened up at 8 and has been hammered down to 7.5. Maybe not hammered down, but at the day, 80% of the money right now is on the under. And when I see stuff like that, especially when I've actually would have probably maybe had a small play on this over 8 anyways, that makes it a play for us. Luis Ortiz goes for Pittsburgh, and he has just been nasty on the road. He's got a 5.50 ERA and just a whip just under 2 in all his road starts. Miami actually put up a 5 spot late in that game yesterday. We like that momentum to carry over for the Marlins here in this spot, especially going against Ortiz, who struggles on the road. Jesus Luzardo goes for Miami, and Jesus is we've backed him a few times, and he's gave us a little trouble. And for us here, Jesus hasn't pitched that well in June. He's sporting a 5.248 in his last 4 starts. Now, Pittsburgh, they have struggled a bit at the plate, but they hit left-handed pitching 30 points higher than they do right-handed pitching. And if Jesus starts struggling right at the beginning, I think some runs off him. And at the end of the day, guys, bottom line, getting that 7.5 to play over 7.5 here. We like that in this one. Give me the over, Drew, in this spot.
Getting them up and over from Don Buster to start us off here. We got our 2-hole hitter up next, Steve Merrill. Big game breakdown, Steve. I'm seeing a good NL East matchup, an interesting one here with the Mets and the Phillies. Good pitching matchup, Senga and Walker. What are you looking to do here in Philadelphia tonight, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, Friday's always a good time to talk baseball because we always get the same teams playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know, it's the one consistent thing about the baseball schedule. Sometimes they carry over to Monday or they play a Thursday game, but, you know, these are series that we can look at on a 2 or 3 day basis here. And I'm going to lean towards the Mets in this game, but I want to talk big picture as well about this series because the Mets have been a team, obviously at 34-40, that have underachieved this season. You could say the same thing about the Phillies, the defending pennant winners, the NL champs from last year, just 2 games above 500. I saw some upside with the Phillies in recent weeks, had them as a best bet a few times with success for my clients. In fact, they were on a 6-game winning streak until the Atlanta Braves came to town for a couple games on Tuesday and Thursday. We lost both of those. And it looks to me like the Phillies offense is starting to cool off here. They've now scored 3 runs or less in 4 straight games. So the question becomes, can we start to back the Mets, who have vastly underachieved? They've had some injuries, but I think we can. Their offense is starting to heat up here. They've now quietly put up 7 runs or more in 3 of their last 4 games, and they've put up 6 runs or more in 3 of their last 6 games, despite going just 1-4 straight up their last 5. So I think they're a little bit undervalued now. By the way, 21 runs the last 3 games, and they had 14 and 10 hits in 2 of those 3 games. I think these are 2 teams that are maybe heading in opposite directions as we head into this 3-game weekend series. Mets are heating up offensively. Phillies are looking like they're cooling off a bit. Take a look at the Mets here, especially tonight on Friday around that pick-em price. I think there's a little bit of upside now with the New York Mets team that's kind of fallen out of fair with the general betting public.
Well, Metropolitans look there from Steve Merrill. Guys, next up, power portion of the lineup here. Jeff Michaels, WagerTalk.com is where you can find him. Jeff, I'm seeing the Brewers and the Guardians here. I believe in your neck of the woods there in Cleveland. I believe you're local, maybe not, but Jeff, throw it over to you. What are you looking to do, Milwaukee and Cleveland tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm staying hometown tonight, and I actually think that there's 2 ways to look at this game. I do like Cleveland here, but it's almost surprising. You look at what they've done against lefties recently, it goes back to May 13th, their last 11 games against left-handed starters. They're 9-2. But if you look at their stats over that span, they're 8th in batting average, 10th in on base percentage, 14th in slugging, and 11th in OPS. So, they have been hitting better than they have against righties, but they're still getting it done with the pitching. So, going against a lefty here, I'm back in Cleveland, and they are putting up 6 runs per game against those lefties. But, like I said, the pitching's still getting it done, and Bieber's on the mound here tonight. He's got a 1.89 ERA at home. He's been, 2 completely different pitchers this season on home and away splits. And you look at his numbers, he's 1-5 over under this season at home. And Drew Miley is 1-3 over under on the road. So I do think that the under is a viable play here as well, but I'm more confident back in Cleveland against this lefty. And I do think that there's a potential for Cleveland to put up some runs here tonight. But 7-1 in the last 8 games at home against left-handed pitchers is a record that I'm not going against right now. So give me Cleveland tonight.
Like that trend against lefties at home from Jeff Michaels, WagerTalk.com. Guys, big game breakdown in the books. Huge shout out to the live chat box here. Raven Ron, October Zone in the house, D Money as well, City by the Bay, Vegas, DGen, all you guys. Thanks for joining us live here. And please smash that like button if you're liking the content, and feel free to reply below in the reply section as we got best bets coming to you guys. And we'll head back to the top of the order here with Don Buster. Again, check him out, WagerTalk.com, guys. Don, any final thoughts here for the Friday show? What do you got going on this weekend, man? Any thoughts here on the London series? Any series prices you like this weekend? And I'm also seeing Arizona and San Francisco. Huge breakdown here, Don. I mean, this travel spot for Arizona, it's probably the worst travel spot of the season, man. Interested in your thoughts. I'll throw it over to you, Don. Take it away.
Left him speechless, Drew Martin. You left him speechless.
All those sorry, guys. All those things. You know what, Steve? That's exactly what I said. Jeez, Drew, you gave me all these trying to answer them, and I had the mic. Right, I had the mic off just to make sure none of the partying that goes on here at the beach is getting in the way of all your analysis here, because I know it goes right on the tape. So it is funny. You're right, Steve. All the questions. As far as the overseas series, I don't want any part of it. I will watch because it's interesting, but I was actually over in London last summer, so it's going to be very interesting, that series. But I will not have any plays on a series like that over there. As far as what we go this weekend, there'd be always packages. One thing I might want to mention, I know it's a baseball show, but everybody's got their packages going up now for NFL and college football. It's coming, and it's coming quick. So make sure to check out all the cappers here, myself included. We have some great deals for the NFL and for the college football that are already up at WagerTalk. So hopefully that answers a few of those questions, Drew. And I will get to the breakdown, and you have nailed one of my points about the travel for Arizona. Our play here is going to be San Francisco for the first half on the run line. Now, we just have been fading Zach Davies ever since he's come back from that injury in late May. He just doesn't seem to look right to us. Just doesn't seem right. And actually, his numbers back that. In the month of June, Zach is sporting an 8.05 ERA with a whip of 1.74. He's not that pitcher, but again, since the injury, it seems to be that way. San Fran's going to send Logan Webb to the hill, and he's been really good at home. He's got a 2.04 ERA with a whip of 1. So both of these clubs, though, have been playing some great baseball. Actually, Arizona's won 5 out of their last 7 games. And just yesterday, San Fran had that 10-game winning streak snapped with that loss to San Diego. And there's a little spot that we like playing for San Francisco in that situation because they were shut out yesterday. So we think that's a great spot for San Fran to come back after they're going to be good and pissed about being shut out yesterday, not getting the bats going. And then we bring in the play that you said, Drew. Arizona played yesterday. Now they have to the West. They might be a little to start this one. Facing Logan Webb, who already has beat them this year in Arizona, where and Webb doesn't pitch half as good on the road as he does at home. He held him to 1 run over 7 innings. So that's in our favor. I'd like Webb to really have a good start against maybe a little leg weary, a little tired Arizona club. And I think this is a great spot to back San Fran. I won't be laying big numbers at all, but I think jumping on them right away after San Fran getting shut out yesterday, they get the hits going against Zach Davies, and they get themselves a 3 or 4 nothing lead after the first 5.
I like that spot as well, Don. Good analysis there, man. If I could ask you, or maybe throw it back over to you. Sorry for leaving you speechless the first time here, Don. But guys, follow him on Twitter at Don_Buster. He just put up a video, a really cool one on the beach. He's got the hat, the glasses, the whole bit, giving out free plays. So good follow there on Twitter. And we got Vegas DGen in the house saying Don looks like he has an incredible collection of great tequila. Is that the case, Don?
Well, actually, not a great collection of the tequila, but I do tend to when we're here and we have friends and family down. Of course, there's a little bit of Don Julio in the house.
Okay, all right, a little south of the border action there from Don Buster. Guys, check him out this weekend's action. He teed it up there. Football right around the corner as well. WagerTalk.com. Speaking of WagerTalk.com, we got Steve Merrill up next here. And Steve, I'm seeing the Boston Red Sox and Chicago White Sox here. So the battle of the Sox here on the South side. Any final thoughts here for the show? And what are you looking to do for best bets?
Well, I got some final thoughts for you, Drew Martin, before I get to my best bet
All
here
right.
for the show. First of all, I want to say it's like Sammy Hagar Jr. on the show with Don Buster right there. I wonder if he has like some guitars and race cars in the garage as well, living down there in Mexico. And quickly on the international series, this London series, they've done it once before. It was in 2019. Red Sox and Yankees, if you recall, played 2 games. 50 total runs were scored in those 2 games, 30 and 20. So needless to say, the early line is out for Saturday's game. It's 14.5 is the over-under. They say they've made changes to the stadium. So I'm like Don, it's really difficult to handicap, but there is a game on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern and then an early game Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So maybe we can get some info from that Saturday game and use it for Sunday morning. Cardinals-Cubs are supposed to play the 2020 edition, which never happened. So that's why they're playing now in London. But it will be interesting and be fun to watch from a baseball fan's perspective. All right, let's look at a free play for Friday night, June the 23rd, a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut in Major League Baseball. And that's because I've got 2 other games that are much stronger tonight. I believe in quality over quantity. I'm very selective with MLB, and that's why I've won consistently for 2.5 decades with baseball. And this is the time of the year to build your football bankroll. And by the way, early bird specials are available right now at WagerTalk.com for both college and pro football. Check those out and get my 2 baseball best bets, a 2-for-1 special tonight on Friday. Also, a bonus free play. I have a free over-under selection on my page for Friday Night Baseball. Baseball free plays in general have been just fantastic. A great way to build your bankroll and learn while you earn. A bonus free play on my page, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Let's get to a free side selection tonight in the American League at 8 o'clock Eastern. Going to look at the Boston Red Sox. They're in that ultra-competitive AL East. They're in last place despite being plus 23 net runs on the season. And they're still in last place because the AL East is that good. But they're an undervalued team because of it. And now they're taking on another really bad divisional team in the Central Division. They just played the Minnesota Twins earlier, and they had a 6-game win streak. And then they had it snapped the last 2 against Minnesota, a tough 1-run loss. And then no shame in a 6-0 loss against Ryan, who's one of the more underrated pitchers in baseball. They only had 3 hits in that game, but the Red Sox had 10 hits or more in 6 of their prior 7 games. They had 9 hits or more in 8 of their prior 9 games. They're hitting the ball extremely well. I think that offense picks back up tonight in Chicago against a White Sox team that's had single-digit hits now in 6 of their last 7 games, and they've lost 5 of those 7 outright. We'll take the small favorite here, the better team and much better offensive current form. Boston Red Sox minus $1.10 tonight on Friday. Don't forget a bonus free play on my page right now, along with 2 best bets. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Like it, Steve. Good stuff, guys. I'll follow that up with my best bet for the show. The Texas Rangers pick 'em price here against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium tonight. And I listed Dane Dunning as the starting pitcher. The former Florida Gator, actually, with the Gators and LSU in the College World Series here. But overall, I like the Bronx Bombers, or I like to go against the Bronx Bombers here in the month of June for a couple reasons. Mainly being Judge out of the lineup, guys. Since he left on June 3rd, they have the lowest team OPS, on base plus slugging percentage in MLB. So their offense has really gone silent here. And up against a good pitcher in Dunning at 2.5 ERA in 4 career appearances against the Yankees. He also took a no-hitter into the 6th inning last time he pitched in Yankee Stadium. So kind of, in the past, he has performed well against this lineup. All of that kind of adding up to the first place Texas Rangers pick 'em price minus 105 this morning, but actually it's taking a little bit of money here. So it's like minus 110 as high as minus 115. But I guess for best bet wise, record keeping purposes, we can call it the minus 110 here on the Texas Rangers over the New York Yankees. Prime time Friday night here, nationally televised game. So I am on the Rangers for my best bet. And guys, we got a gold sheet best bet as well. I think we got a graphic here we can throw up, and it is the Colorado Rockies versus the LA Angels under 11.5 runs. Couple reasons why. The Angels got shut out in back-to-back games this week. The Rockies are last in MLB in weighted runs created plus metric, and their on-base percentage versus lefty pitching also last in the league. And Kyle Freeland here, he's one of those guys, the Rockies pitchers, every now and again they get him. He pitches well in Coors Field. He kind of struggles away at times. 3.19 ERA and a 1.28 whip at Coors Field this season. So there you have it, under 11.5 runs. LA and Colorado tonight. Last up here, Jeff Michaels, our 3-hole hitter. Jeff, I'll throw it over to you, man. Best bets for Atlanta and Cincinnati. I'm seeing interesting breakdown here, man, with the Braves, one of the best teams in MLB, and Cincinnati red hot. What are you looking to do in the Queen City tonight, Jeff? And any final thoughts here for the show?
Yeah, you guys let it off. I can't argue with any one of those best bets, and I didn't think about it ahead of time, but I guess I'm staying in the state of Ohio today for my breakdowns here, because my best bet is rolling with these Reds today. I'm going to take them on the run line. I'm going to take that 1.5 runs, still getting it at a minus 120 price. But how about this? These Cincinnati Reds are currently doing something that the Big Red Machine never did. An 11-game win streak is something that one of the best teams in the history of baseball, arguably over an extended period of time, never reached an 11-game winning streak, but this Reds team currently has. The Braves have Smith Saver on the mound tonight. It's just his 4th career start. He has looked pretty good, but this is only his 2nd start on the road. His first one was his debut against Arizona, and he went just 2.1 or 2 1/3 innings, in that game against Arizona, and he got hit in his last outing. He gave up all 3 of his career earned runs in that last game. And now he has to face, a red hot Cincinnati team on the road. You look at some of these guys on the Reds that you really don't think about. Obviously, Ellie De La Cruz has been in the media recently. He's top 5 over the last month and a half. I know he hasn't quite been here that whole time, but over the last month and a half, he's top 5 in OPS, slugging, batting average, and weighted runs created plus. Fraley is top 5 in OPS, and Benson has the top on-base percentage against righties in any batter this month. So they have options getting on base. They have weapons to score runs here, and they're 13-4 on the run line against Atlanta in the last 3 years. And I don't think that there's any argument that the Reds team that we see this season is better than the Reds team that we saw the last 2 years. But they've consistently got it done against this Braves team, and they've covered 6 straight games against righties too. So I like Cincinnati in this spot. I think there's a shot it's a 1-run game, but either way, a 1-run game's a win here for the Reds. I even think they got a shot to upset this rookie pitcher tonight, but we'll play it safe. We'll take it on the run line with the minus 120 price, and we'll roll with both the Ohio teams today.
Like it, Jeff. All right, a little Ohio two-step, and I'm seeing a $100 parlay pays 312. Does that interest you on the Ohio two-step tonight on the diamond?
I may have to go get some bets in here before this. What? I think 6:40. I think Cincinnati's the early game, so 6:40 Eastern time. I got to make it out there by.
All right, Jeff. Well, good stuff from Jeff Michaels. Guys, check him out, wagertalk.com. A lot of stuff going out this weekend here on the diamond. For Steve Merrill, Don Buster as well, I am Drew Martin. So enjoy the games this weekend, guys. We'll be back Monday, same time, same place. Come back and join us. Please smash that like button. Feel free to reply below. That does it, guys. Enjoy your weekend and cash those tickets. Thanks for tuning in.